every day now at 11:15, so it makes it easy to remember. So click on when you can, and when you can't, we understand. All right, so we'll come to that comfortable place, whatever that place may be. And just take a deep breath and let it go. And let that always be a reminder to you that it's not good to bottle up and hold stuff in. You know, we don't hold our breath forever. We breathe in and out. We let it flow. As they say, we go with the flow. So I want you to think about that today. Let this be a practice of going with the flow, just like your breath, naturally. Nothing forced, nothing strained. Just breathe and allow yourself to notice your thoughts, your emotions, your feelings. Just allow yourself to be aware and enjoy the present moment. Now, take note of thoughts that came to the surface. Like the ocean, remember, is our mind. When we give it time to be still, then the sediment starts to float to the top. And we can become clearer. Clarity comes to us. You understand what it is that's in there in the mind. Maybe things that are stuck. Maybe things that, like a chain link, are adding together and causing the mind to become overwhelmed. So take note of your thoughts right now and start to sort. Let go of those things that keep going over and over in your mind that aren't doing you any good, that don't help you to move on. Let go. And breathe in the clarity and the peace and the contentment. Take a deep breath. And release that breath. Again, and like a wave coming over the body, take a deep breath in, feeling good health, strength, energy, peacefulness, contentment. And then release that breath and let go of fear, resentment, bitterness, worry. So start your practice light. Leave the ego off to the side. Don't worry about judging yourself, certainly not others. Just be and enjoy. Take a deep breath in and allow your chin to float skyward. And begin to feel the stretch in the neck. Notice the muscles that come into play here. Relax through your shoulder, relax through your face. Let go of all expression. Start to notice areas that you're holding tension. Maybe the wrist, maybe the fingers, maybe the hips, the legs. And start to notice how you can create relaxation. Just by being still, just by bringing awareness, just by calling it to attention. Take another deep breath in. And this time as you exhale, allow your chin to float down into the chest. Now remember the bend here is in the neck. So the body stayed long and tall. And you notice the navel drawing back to the spine the shoulders are relaxed, and you start to feel the weight of the head pulling the chin closer to the chest, feeling the stretch down the neck, into the shoulders, down the back. And then allow the chin to just float from side to side, working out kinks, working out tension, tightness, frustration. We know that we hold emotions in our muscles. So we need to relax. We need to pay attention to tension. So this will help us not only physically, but physiologically and emotionally. Start to allow this motion to come into a circular fashion, if that feels good to you. Working through the neck one way several times, and then the other. Start to feel the tension being pulled away and released just by movement. Stop the chin as it comes over the right collarbone. Drop the left arm down, feeling the stretch deepen down the left side of the neck into the arm. Maybe even taking that arm and stretching it out to the left, pressing into the third finger. Breathe. Lift the chin up as if gazing over to the right side of the room. And remember, this, like any other posture, can be as simple or as challenging as you wish. So I can start to bring the chin towards the shoulder, I can bring it over the shoulder, or I can look up and over my shoulder as if gazing at the moon. So remember, as you move through your asanas, make it good for your body. Listen to your body. It will never do you wrong. It's going to give you clues and cues, and it will let you know when you're doing something you shouldn't. Now allow that face to just flow over to the left as if you're gazing to the left of your room. Again, extend the right arm out if you choose, pressing into the third finger, feeling that stretch all the way down the arm. Again, maybe looking the chin towards the shoulder, maybe over the shoulder, maybe up and over. And then drawing the chin down into the left collarbone here. Feeling that stretch a little deeper down the right side. Breathe. And release. Go ahead and bring your shoulders forward and round through your back. Notice how your core tightened here. No strain or tension in my neck or in my shoulders. I'm just drawing the shoulders forward so they feel good. It feels good because I'm stretching through the back here. This is my cat pose, a seated cat. And if I do the opposite, I'm going to draw the arms back and open up through the chest. And this should feel good as well. And it's so important for us to strengthen through our chest and our back muscles. They help us with that good posture. Come forward again, cat. And that good posture not only looks good, but it's better for the body. It helps the body to function better. The lungs open and expand. The vital organs aren't being compressed. So this is really important to strengthen these muscles. As we age, we tend to come to that kyphosis where we kind of hunch forward. We want to discourage that by keeping these muscles really strong. So one last time, hunching forward with that cat and opening up with that cow. Nice. Bring your hands to heart center. Set your intention today. Maybe to think about change. Change is something that is usually never easy, but if we don't change, we die. We can't be what we want to be if we stay what we are. We can't be the things that we need, the things that maybe we even desire, if we stay the same. We're ever changing, and we need to learn to flow with that. So let's make this a practice of adapting to change. Nice. Take a good deep breath in and release that breath down. Let's come to our tabletop. Hands under shoulders. Knees are under hips. Always aligning joint on top of joint. So here my back is nice and long. I'm tight through my core. My shoulders are soft, my head and neck is relaxed here. And again, that cow and cat, but a little different here. Now I'm lifting through my heart to really stretch through the trunk of the body. And then I draw my back up towards the ceiling in my cat. Bring the breath in. So I inhale, cow. Really feel that stretch from the navel to the throat. Exhale, cat. Remember, don't compromise the neck here, your cervical spine. So let that kind of relax, and you're lifting with the chest here. That's how you're coming into your cow. Inhaling, cow. Exhaling, cat. Nice. Relax back into your child's pose, and always remember that child's pose, Balasana, is a place that we honor the body. So as you fall into your child's pose, relax. Open the fingers. Let the thumbs look towards one another. Draw the sit bones back behind you. Feel the muscles elongate in your back. And you can relax your forehead onto the mat. Remember, this is a place we honor the body. So if at any time you feel like you've been pushed way too far, don't worry about it. Come here. Relax for a moment. Catch your breath. Nice. Now if I lift my sit bones up and come forward, I come into my King Cobra. Now, as you probably noticed, the further I came forward, the more I lifted my heart, the more the back bent. So be mindful of any back issues. You probably did it without even thinking about it, but your gluteus squeezed, and that helps you not to hyperextend the back too much. So keeping those muscles nice and taut is that wonderful way that the body says, hey, don't go too far. I'm going to help you not to hyperextend. So this is your King Cobra. If we're ever here in King Cobra and you want to challenge, you can always lift the legs off the floor. So my knees came up off the floor and I'm just relaxing on the top of my feet. This is a little more challenging because now I'm working against my full body weight. So you don't have to go there, but you can. Curl through your toes, push into the balls of your feet, drive your hips to the sky, press your heels down. Your downward facing dog. My hands are shoulder width apart. And my shoulders are relaxed, but they're not so relaxed that I'm sinking through them and causing strain. So I'm keeping my arms long and tall, my hips are lifted, my heels are pressing, and I feel that resistance when you're lifting one way and pressing into the other. So I feel that good stretch running down the hamstring. If I lift my left leg, I come into my three-legged dog. Nice. If I bend through that left knee and step that left foot forward to my left hand, coming into my lizard on the left. So remember, this is like a lunge with your hands to one side, but this is your lizard. And remember, whenever you're in any type of lunge, you want the knee on top of the foot. So I'm pressing through my right heel, making that right leg long. And if this bothers my wrist, I can make a fist. So remember, there's always a way to modify. I want to step back with that left leg, bring it skyward, three-legged dog. Nice. Let's have a flow here. Take a breath in. As you exhale, step forward. Remember, wiggle the foot forward to have that knee on the foot, on top of the foot if you need to. Inhale, come up. Exhale, step forward. Nice. Inhale, back up. Nice, and relax that left leg down. Now you can walk your dog. You can come to your child's pose to take a rest. You can turn through your wrist. Always good to lubricate those joints. You can come up on the toes, letting the top of the foot make contact. Such a great way to stretch through the foot. Now lift your right leg. Three-legged dog here. Bend through the right knee, step forward. Lift and place. Remember, if you don't step into the right position, just grab onto that ankle and bring it there. So first here, again, noticing where you're stretching, noticing the muscles that came into play, where you're putting tension, where you shouldn't be, where you should. It's being aware. That's what this practice is all about. Lizard on your right.
Now, take the leg back up, three-legged dog, lift. Take a deep breath in as you press through that left heel, and as you exhale, step forward. Slow and controlled. Try to place it, not throw it. One more time. Lift, inhale the leg up, stretch. Exhale the leg down. Nice. Take that leg back up. And then release down into your downward facing dog. Walk your hands back to your feet. You should be on the back of your mat. You're in a forward fold, Uttanasana, forward fold. Remember, it doesn't matter where your hands fall. They can be on your upper thighs. They can be on your shin. They can be all the way down to the mat. It doesn't matter. Let your head and neck relax. Keep your back long. Think of pressing your chest to your upper thigh instead of bringing your nose to your knee. If you tend to think of nose to knee, you tend to round the back, and we want to keep the back long. So you're drawing the navel in. You're relaxing any tension in your neck. And this is good. This is, inverting, letting that heart be above the head. So in other words, that head below the heart, I should say. So the blood flow going to the brain is very beneficial. Go ahead and lift one heel and then the other. Another good way to really stretch through the feet here. All the while getting a great stretch of those hamstrings, which is really important. Nice. Now I want you to pick up your right foot and put it behind your left leg. And then allow the chest to flow again. That might seem a little more challenging. That's a deeper stretch with the hamstring here. You can bend through the knees if you need to. Really important, though, to keep these hamstrings strong. If you choose to challenge, you can lift the arms up. And then you're really working against your body weight. Remember, whenever we hover, more challenging. All right, place the right foot beside the left. Let's do the opposite. Pick up the left foot, come behind the right. Just deepening that stretch here. And remember, try to just hold where you are and take deep breaths. And then take a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, see if you can come just a little bit further. Always paying attention to the body, never going past where it wants you to go. Sometimes just holding a few breaths, taking a few breaths and then taking one more deep one, and as you breathe out, allowing the body to go a little bit more. Those muscles having memory, that's where you're going to gain your flexibility. All right, take that left foot down beside the right. All right, you've had your head beneath your heart for a while, so come on up.
And if that ever bothers you, and for some people it does, so just come out of it. You don't have to do everything. Remember, this is your practice. Come to the top of your mat. Flow with me. Take deep breaths. Inhale up. Exhale down. Uttanasana. Forward fold. Inhale your hands to your shins. Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale the hands down. Inhale your left foot back and your right into your downward facing dog. Exhaling, flow forward to your plank, half or full. Inhale, lift, King Cobra. Exhale, draw back to your plank. Knees down or knees up. Inhale, lift, down dog. Exhale, walk the feet forward to your forward fold. One more inhale, your slow reverse swan dive. And exhaling, your hands to heart center. Nice. How do you feel? Knowing that even in these just few moments that we've already been together, your body's changed, You've changed, hopefully, the way you feel with movement. All right, feet out, a little more than hip width apart. Start to press the buttocks back and down. Now this is important because remember, form is everything, and we want to always be safe. So we want to keep joint on top of joint. So the knee should be on top of the foot, So if I'm thinking of pressing the buttocks back and down, then I'm going to help myself to have that good form. So I want to tighten the core. I want to hold the hands here, and I want to press into my heels. So you should actually be able to wiggle your toes here. Nice. Now, if this is too much, I can put weight with my hands into the upper thigh here, or I can rest my arms on. But if I can hover, this is going to help me work a little more. If I extend the arms to either side, now I'm working the arms. Now, it won't take long for us to notice the shoulders here. So if I think more about extending and reaching out with fingers, then I'm not holding the shoulders so tight. So it's all about the way we think, right? All about our perspective. If I bring the left arm down and the right arm skyward, keeping that squat, press the buttocks back and down, and draw back. Now it's the opposite. Right hand down, left arm up. Keep pressing that buttocks back and down. You want to feel this in your quads. Now draw back to center. Nice. Opposite side. Lift. Draw back to center. Nice. You should be noticing your quads by now. Opposite hand. And back. Nice. You should be feeling this. Nice. Now I want to take my left foot and come behind my right. You decide how much. If I really reach that left foot way back there and I dip that left knee down, then I'm going to feel it a little more. If I don't want to feel it so much, I can lengthen through the back leg, keeping it straight. Your choice, your practice. Nice. Now I want to turn my chest towards my right knee. And I want to come down. And I want to tighten the core. Maybe I hover, maybe I rest my arms over, maybe I can touch my fingertips to the floor. Again, the more I drop that back knee, the more I feel the right gluteus, the more good tension, building strength in that leg. Come on, back up and rotate to the front. Let's do that again. Take the chest in alignment with the knee, the front knee. Fold over, tighten your core, either rest your arms on or bring them to the floor. Drop that back knee a little more, feeling the muscles in the gluteus and the legs, and back up. And rotate to the front. A few more times. Chest in the same direction as the knee. Back lengthens, hover. Maybe drop the hands, drop the back knee. Nice. Come on, back up and step the left foot back into your squat. Woo. Should feel that, yes? Hopefully. Now it's the right foot behind the left. Again, I can really wiggle those toes, walk that foot back behind me and keep a long leg, getting a great stretch. Or I can bend. Bending, always more challenging. The more I drive the knee to the floor, the more I'm going to feel it. Now, take that chest again, rotate so that you're in the same line with your knee. Lengthen through the back, tighten through the core, hover, or rest with your arm. Or, if you choose to go further, take your fingertips to the floor, drive that knee down. Core is still tight, head and neck relaxed. Come on, back up. Rotate to the front. Nice. Again, so it's chest in the direction of the knee, back long, tight core, fingers to the floor if you choose, drop the knee. Breathe. One more time, up, rotate to the front, and last time. Chest in direction of knee, back long, core tight. Drop the fingertips, drop the knee, breathe. Nice, coming back up, your right foot marries your left. Ooh, should feel your quads. Now I can take my left leg over my right. I can keep my toes on the floor. I'm not leaning forward. This is important, guys. Lift through your heart, press your buttocks down. I can stay here, or I can come on up into that Piriformis Squat. Knee on top of foot, buttocks pressing back and down. Breathe. Nice. Come on back. Hold here. Same thing on the opposite side now. My right leg is over my left. Again, it's okay to be here. I'm still pressing the buttocks back and down. I'm still pretty much in a squat, still creating good tension in that left leg. But if I wanted to challenge, working on balance and strength, I pick up the right leg, and one leg might be much easier than the other. Sometimes that happens. Coming into that Piriformis Squat. Just remember not to lean forward. We don't want pressure on the shin or the kneecap. We're pressing the buttocks back and down. We're lifting through the heart. Breathe. Really important to stretch the piriformis to keep it strong, to get it lifted up off that sciatic nerve. And release. Let's go ahead and pulse it out. Just little pulses here. So I'm pressing the buttocks back and down. If you want to stay here with just these little pulses, remember you don't come out of your squat, you're pulsing, little pulses. You can stay here or you can challenge by stepping out. Step and back. Step and back. Otherwise, just stay in a pulse, a slow pulse. Step and back. Step and back. A few more. Step out, bend, press the buttocks down and back. Nice and strong. Step and back. Step and back. And step and back. Hold here. Little pulses. Down and up. A little slower. Down and up. You should have felt your heart rate come up. Your breath pattern probably came up a bit. Down and up. Now I want you to step back if you can. So we come up, and then when we come down, we step back and bend and forward. Opposite leg. Back and bend and forward. Back and bend. Obviously, the closer the knee comes to the floor, the more you're working. Back and bend, forward. Back and bend, forward. Last time. Back and forward. Hold here. Little pulses. Ooh-wee. All right, bring the arms up. This is your chair pose, Uttanasana. Chair pose. Release. Come full body stretch, and you should feel those quads that we've worked. Go ahead and reach to the right. I'm not leaning to the right, because if I were leaning, I'd be compromising. I'm keeping the feet right where they are, trunk of the body long and tall, and I'm reaching with my arms to the right. Catch your breath if you've lost it. Same thing to the left here. You should feel the stretch down the oblique. Nice. And release. Swan dive down. Forward fold. Uttanasana. Forward fold. Nice. Your slow reverse swan dive brings you up. And your hands marry at heart center. What are you thinking about? Come to the top of your mat. Sun Salutations. So first I want you to utilize your mountain pose. So as you stand tall, remember we think of the ladder. So just like the rungs of the ladder, our joints are one on top of the other. So we have this good posture. We draw the shoulders back. We let them drop down. The chest is open. The palms are faced forward. The head and neck relaxed. You can even close your eyes for a moment here. This is your mountain pose. This is where we say we ground. So this is something, a good practice for you all during your day, no matter what day, no matter where you are. Take some time to be still, come into mountain pose, and just ground yourself into the present moment. You'd be amazed after practicing that for a while. It really helps you to remember to come to the present moment. Moving into a sun salutation. We bring the arms skyward. Swan dive down. Uttanasana. Forward fold. Bring your hands to your shins. Ardha. Uttanasana. Bring your hands back down. Nice. Take the right knee and pull it up into your chest and extend the right leg back behind you. Runner's lunge. Now go ahead and spin that back foot out. And then if you need to, you can always put your hands on your leg and help yourself. But if you can do this, push into your foot. Relax through your head and neck and lift up using muscle. Coming into Warrior One. Nice. So I feel that good stretch in my hip flexor and that back leg. And you know, your hip flexor is the driving machine of your body. It allows you to bend your leg. So it really connects and helps the upper and lower body to communicate, right? And we utilize it all day, standing, lifting our legs, sitting. So it's so good to get up every once in a while, come into this Warrior One and stretch that psoas, that hip flexor. So I'm lengthening through the back leg. I'm pushing into the front foot. Warrior One, Virabhadrasana 1. Now open up, Warrior 2. So all I did was let that hip rotate back. I still have that good weight into my front leg. I still have that elongated back leg. And I'm again thinking of reaching out with fingers, not shoulders. Warrior 2. Virabhadrasana 2. And when I lengthen through the front leg, I can ease my arm down the leg and rest on the shin, or I can challenge, bringing the arm to the inside. But I come right into my triangle, Trikonasana. Breathe. So this should feel very freeing, you know? Your core is tight, and your arm is above you, but it's relaxed. Almost as if you're suspended from those fingers and you're just kind of relaxing in this triangle position. Trikonasana. Nice. Now you can stay here or you can challenge with me, bending through the front knee, coming to your extended side angle. I can stay here or I can bring that back arm behind me, the front arm underneath the leg, and bind the posture. Now that's a little more challenging, but I know some of you like this. So remember, do what your body says. If you start to do this and the body says no, then don't worry about it. Remember, you're becoming aware, you're exploring what you can do, what you can't do, what feels good, what doesn't, where you want to hold tension, where you don't. Now release the arms down and rotate to the front, spin through the back foot. You're in your lunge, step back with the left foot to marry the right. Downward facing dog. Go ahead and walk the dog. Nice. Come to your plank, half or full. Lift to your king cobra. Ease down. Keeping the elbows close to the body, coming slow to your baby cobra. Nice. Pushing back up to your king cobra or your up dog. Curling through your toes, lifting through your down dog. Now you can do that flow again, or you can challenge with me, coming to your plank. And then chaturanga. Keep your elbows drawn in, slowly coming down to the floor, lifting into your king cobra. That's a little more challenging. Easing back to your baby cobra, pushing up to your plank, lifting to your down dog. So remember, whichever one is best for you. Let's do that again. Come forward, plank. Chaturanga, ease down, lift, king cobra. Come back, baby cobra. Lift back to your plank and lift to your down dog.
Raise the right leg because we always end with the leg we started with. We draw the knee in, we step the foot forward, lift, and place. Find your form, spin through the back foot, and if you can, remember, lift up your hands first and push from your foot, coming into your warrior one. So note that when you're coming up, if you come up, if you push and launch off your hands, you're using a little more momentum, and that's okay if you need to, but if you push into that foot and pick up your hands before you lift, you're really working muscle. So in that warrior one, stretching that psoas or lengthening even more through the leg here, but as I push into that back foot and I bend through that front knee, keeping it on top of the foot, I'm really noticing where I'm squeezing through the gluteus, stretching through the psoas, that hip flexor. Warrior one. Open up, warrior two. So your legs are the same, the arms are what change. So you keep those warrior legs, really still pushing into that front foot, thinking of extending through fingers. Breathe. Extend and lengthen through the leg, and either ease your arm down the leg or let it come to the inside, then dangle. Remember, the more you hover, when you dangle and you hover, and you're working against your body weight, you're working so much more challenging. So my core is tight, but my head is relaxed. And my arm is relaxed, even though it's lifted skyward. Such a great freeing posture, as if, once again, as if you're suspended by your arm. And so you can stay here, or you can bend through the front leg and come into your extended side angle, or challenge and come into binding the posture. Remember, you're reaching your top arm back behind you, your bottom arm underneath you, underneath that leg, and you bind the fingers, or at least reach towards both of them. Your head and neck is relaxed. You're grounding into that front foot. Your core is tight. And you press the outer part of the left foot down, or the back foot down, so that you get that good stretch up the side of that leg. Now release your hands down, come into your lunge, spin your back foot. Marry your left foot to your right. Uttanasana, forward fold. Your slow reverse swan dive brings you up. And hands are in heart center. What are you thinking about? So if you have favorites that we haven't been doing, favorite postures or something you'd like to do, you can always email me or text me or put a note on Teams, and I'll include that in the next class. Let me know. This is your practice. I want you to have fun, and it's been a while since we've all been together, so believe it or not, getting back used to yoga, it used to be such a part of my life, and for a while it wasn't as frequent, and so it's like coming back home. So if you have things that we're not doing that we could do, let me know. Another sun salutation. Bring the arms skyward. Swan dive down. Uttanasana. Forward fold. Bringing your hands to your shins, remember, is our half forward fold. So as we stay here for a moment, we think about what we're doing. Our core is tight, our back is long, and the crown of the head is pressed in front of me. My head and neck are relaxed, but the crown of the head is pressed in front of me, and the buttocks pressing behind me, which really allows the core to tighten. My shoulders are soft, my hands are just resting on my shins. Ardha Uttanasana. Ardha means half, so half forward fold. I release my hands back down. And this time it's the left knee that comes up and extends back. Nice. Go ahead and set that back leg down. Now you can always do this. Whenever we come into a lunge, you're always welcome to set the back leg down if that's better. I want you to lift up, bring your hands to your quadricep, or the top of the leg, and I want you to really push into that front foot.
So you're allowing the body to kind of just sink towards the floor, and then you really feel that stretch once again in the hip flexors. So we're really giving a good stretch to the hip flexor today, which is so important. We already talked about this. It's like the driving machine of the body. And when you stretch this often and keep it good and flexible and allow it to be stretched and not kinked up like it is when we sit, you really improve your metabolism, the enzymes flowing, blood flowing. It's like a water hose. When you stay seated or with that leg bent too long, you crimp it off. All right, so now we've stretched that. Now if I draw that front leg, if I flex through the foot and draw the toes to my face, and I bring the upper body and let it hover over that front leg, that's a great hamstring stretch. I can either keep those toes towards my face with the foot flexed. I can point through the foot if that's better. If all of this is too challenging, I can press the buttocks towards the floor and have that hamstring stretch in a seated position. So remember, explore. As we go through these asanas and postures, there's really no wrong or right unless I say, make sure you do this. This is a safety thing. Otherwise, you can find your own modification. That's what this practice is about, learning your body, right, and what it likes. So I want to come back to pushing into that front foot, press into. So create good tension. Press into that front foot and really push into it as you're lengthening through that back psoas, that hip flexor. And then go ahead and bring your hands to heart center. Now we're kind of working with balance. So if this is too much, keep your hands on your leg, but if you can, bring your hands to heart center and bring them to goal post. So I have my elbows that are in line with my shoulders. They're no higher than my shoulders because we don't want to compromise the shoulder. And I can stay here, or I can bring the right arm underneath the left, keeping the back of the hand to back of the hand, or I can wrap around, palm to palm. Obviously, wrapping around is a little deeper stretch. So I started to feel the back open up, the shoulder blades open up. This is a great stretch across your blades. Breathe. This is your, just had a brain loss. Eagle arms. This is your eagle arms. And I always say it should be eagle arms and legs because you feel it just as much in your legs, no matter how you have your legs usually when you're doing this. But eagle arms is a great stretch. All right, release back out and open the arms back. Now my crown of the head is still to the ceiling, but I'm opening the chest and drawing the arms back. And I should feel good tension, strength being built in my legs here. All right, ease the arms back down, hands under shoulders. Lift that back leg up and step back with the right foot to the left. Nice downward facing dog. Let's do that simpler flow first. We come to our plank, half or full. We lift to our king cobra or up dog. We ease down to our baby cobra. Remember, elbows close to the body and slowly coming down, working those triceps. And then we push back up to our king cobra. And then we curl through the toes and come back to our plank. Now that's a much more simpler flow down. If you want a challenge, you're going to come to your plank. Shoulders over hands. Ease down, chaturanga. Lift, king cobra. Draw back to your plank. And lift. Down dog. Can we do it one more time? Really working the arms today. Come down, plank. Ease down as slow as you can. And you can do this with your knees down. Chaturanga. Lift. King cobra. Ease down. Baby cobra. Push to your plank. Lift to your down dog. Remember what we said. We end with the leg we started with. So I'm raising the left leg. I bring the left knee in. I step forward. Lift. And place. Find your form and ease the back leg down. Breathe. I really want to push into that front left foot. I want to create that good tension there, and I want to press forward with my back leg, the front part of my back leg. So my hip flexor. Your hip flexor, it comes up alongside the groin and runs around the hip into the back. It's your psoas muscle. So I'm pressing forward with that, and naturally my glute's going to tighten but I'm really giving a good stretch to that. And if I can, I'm gonna come on up. Now I'm having to balance. So if that's too much, keep your hands on your upper thigh. Breathe. So see, when you're being aware of the muscles you're using and you start to think about where am I putting tension, where should I not, that's a practice. I know you've heard me say this millions of times, but now the more you go out there and you're doing things, then you're gonna know, oh yeah, use that to balance, use this, have good tension here, where am I holding tension I shouldn't. So it's all a practice. Okay, lift the arms up, goal post if you choose. Left arm now underneath right, back of the hand to back of the hand, or keep on wrapping. Breathe. It's your eagle arm, stretching through the back, and you can drive the shoulders a little more forward if you want to deepen that stretch. I'm still pressing into that front foot because I'm working the legs as well as working the arms. Breathe. Don't hold your breath. Release through your arms, and now I'm going to draw back, strengthening through that front leg, just like we did the other. I'm either bringing the toes to the face, or I'm pressing through, pointing through the toes, whichever is best for you. But we're really stretching through the hamstring. The more I drop the chest to the upper thigh, the deeper the stretch. Remember, you can always ease back down and sit down and do this if it's better. So important for us to stretch those hamstrings. Don't forget them. All right, press back through the foot, coming to your lunge. Hands are under shoulders. Pick up your right foot. Marry it to your left. Uttanasana. Forward fold. You're slow. Reverse swan dive lifts you up. And your hands come to heart center. Okay, so balance. So first take a breath. Find your form, like we said just a moment again, practicing, right? So the more I practice a good posture, the more I'm going to utilize those muscles, and the more I'm going to be in this good alignment. And remember, good alignment looks good, but more importantly, it's going to feel good once you get these muscles strong and strengthened, and it's going to make the body function better. So I'm going to pick up the left foot. If that's too much, keep the toes to the floor. Immediately, when you picked up the foot, you're going to feel the core tighten, right? Because you took weight off. Can you bend it? Using that hip flexor we've worked so much, flex through the foot, bend through the leg. Now you're using your core. You felt it tighten. But if I bring the leg back slowly without bending through the back, keeping the crown of the head to the ceiling, and I push the foot as if I'm pushing against a door or a wall, now I feel the gluteus. So we know what works for us. When we lift the leg, our hip flexor is helping us lift. When we come back and push something behind us, our gluteus keeps us from hyperextending. Lift, tighten. So it's almost like our standing crunch. It is standing crunch. So you're doing core work, and then glute work, pushing. Again, crunch, contract, stress, press, lengthen, crunch, tighten, press, squeeze. Let's bring the arms in. Lift and press. Open up the chest. So now you get the benefit of the chest opening. Lift, crunch, and press. All the while strengthening that right leg, practicing balance. Nice. One more. Press. Nice. Now lengthen through your back leg and slowly come forward. Doesn't matter how far. Your aim is to try to be parallel to the floor, but you don't have to be. Relax through your head and neck. This is your warrior 3. So obviously I'm balancing on one leg. I'm trying to keep my hip bones focused to the floor. And I can keep my arms behind me or forward. This is your warrior 3. Virabhadrasana 3. Now try to lift the leg up to the front. Now come back. Warrior 3. Again, lift up. And back. Nice, lift on up. And settle down. Great strengthening, great flexibility, great balance. So, obviously, balancing takes strength and it takes flexibility. That's why it's so important for us to exercise, for us to have movement, because whether you know it or not, every day, everything you do, you're balancing. It's movement with change, balance. Same thing on the opposite leg. Lift up the leg. Now remember, I'm lifting the leg and I'm not leaning. So that's how we utilize the core. We draw the shoulders back, let them drop down. If you stayed here the whole time, you're practicing balance. You're strengthening the leg. You can do that. If you want to work a little more, bend. Now I'm contracting, and I want to do it really tight. I want to really draw that navel in. Make those muscles in the core tight. And press back. Feel the gluteus. Again, lift, contract, press, squeeze. Lift, contract, press, squeeze. Remember, this is a lot of mind over matter, so the more I think about tightening, contracting, the more it's going to do it. Press, squeeze. A few more. Contract, tighten, and press. Nice. Now I'm going to lift up to the front, and this time I'm going to press back and I'm going to try to lengthen through the leg, and just like a folding table, I'm going to hinge from the creases of my leg and keep my back long and come forward. I'm not lifting up through this hip. If I was, I'd be going into half moon. Instead, I'm trying to keep my hip bones focused to the floor. Head and neck relaxed, back long, arms can be behind or forward. This is your Warrior 3, Virabhadrasana 3. See if you can lift on up, bring the leg forward, working that quad, come back. One leg might be more challenging than the other, so maybe the other one, this was really easy. Come forward, and maybe this one is a little more challenging. And back. Slower the better. You want to fatigue those muscles in a good way. Lift up. And back. One more time. Lift up. And back. Nice job, guys. Okay, let's come to the top of the mat, wind her down. Where does time go? Bring the arms skyward. Swan dive down. Uttanasana, forward fold. Nice, bend through your knees and set your buttocks down. Now you can go ahead and ease it to the floor, or you can stay here. For some people, this is very comfortable, and for others, it's not. For some, they like to come up onto the balls of their feet. That's a little bit more balanced, but it feels better to them. But your core is tight, your shoulders relaxed, your arms reaching forward. And I can bring my arms easily back behind me and just ease onto the ground. Now, you can keep your knees bent, or you can lengthen through the legs. So, lengthening through the legs, obviously more challenging. This is your boat pose. So I come to a crunch and a lengthen. Remember, I don't have to come all the way out with the legs if I want to be here and here. If this bothers your back at all, put your hands behind you. Support your back, but try to keep your back long. So this is great core work, even with my hands behind me, right? I'm balancing myself, but I'm not putting too much weight into them. Of course, if you lift the arms up, you're working more challenging. So don't try to impress even yourself and get hurt. It's not worth it. Do what's good for your body. Boat pose, inhale. Crunch, exhale. Boat, crunch. Last one, boat, and crunch. Nice. Set the feet down, draw the chest up to the upper thigh. That should feel good. Your back feels good with that Nice elongation there. You can move your neck from side to side. Nice. You can rock back, which is much easier. So I can grab onto my legs and rock back. Or I can work a little harder, extending through the legs and easing myself down. That takes a lot more core and back. So if it bothers you in any way, don't do it. Bring the arms above the head. Your full body stretch. Breathe. This should feel good. So we did a few inversions on Tuesday, and many people really like these. Some people do not. So if you don't worry about it. You don't have to do it. If you've never done them before, you need to be maybe watching for the first time, because these are a little different. The main thing is that your gaze stays to the ceiling. So never compromise the cervical spine from looking side to side. So my gaze stays to the ceiling as I push my lower back into the mat and lift my legs up. And now I'm into my up the wall pose. My feet, the base, the bottom of my feet is just pressing to the ceiling. My lower back pressing to the mat. This is your up the wall pose. You can rotate through your ankles. You can bend or lengthen through your legs, whatever you want to do. This is usually something that everybody can do. Now to go a little further, really tighten your core. And lift your hips and allow your legs to flow over your head into your plow pose. And your toes may touch the floor or they may not. It doesn't matter. Just keep your neck very stable. So your head and neck should stay still. Your gaze to the ceiling. Plow pose. To go further, set your fingertips and your hands at the base of your back, like a tripod for your pelvic bones. So your pelvic bone just sits right into your hand and you lift your legs up and you're in your shoulder stand, Sarvangasana. This is so beneficial to the body in so many ways. You can scissor your legs, you can open them up, you can bend through your knees, do whatever you want from the waist to the feet, but do not move your shoulder. Work up to 3 minutes. That's how long it takes to totally reverse blood flow. And then that great core work coming on down, slow and controlled, allowing the legs to flow over the head, tight core, and then easing back down. The less you use your arms and your hands, the more you're using your core. Back to up the wall. Nice. Bend your knees and set your legs down, or really work your core by allowing the legs to come down slowly. And it helps to put your hands underneath your lower back. But this is really working the core and the back, so be mindful, do not hurt yourself. Nice. Now always after doing those inversions, it's a good idea to do Matsuyasana, fish pose. So you're just lying on the floor. And as if someone hooked a hook to your breastbone or your sternum, and with a crane, you're involuntarily being lifted by your chest. And you start to put weight into your forearms, your head floats back, crown of your head is not touching the floor, so there's no pressure on your head. This is your fish pose, very beneficial to those with lung issues. The weight's in my forearms. This really opens up the chest. Matsuyasana. And then just ease back down. Nice. Now lift your left leg and raise for the toes with your right arm. If you can't touch your feet, that's fine. Grab onto your shin or the back of your leg. If you can touch your toes, pull against your toes as you're pressing your foot to the ceiling. Press your lower back to the mat. That resistance, we talked about this earlier, that resistance of pressing in one direction, pulling in the other direction, you're going to feel that great stretch in the middle. Breathe. Never stretch those hamstrings too much, it seems like. They really need stretching to lengthen through the leg. They tug on those back muscles. Bend through the knee and guide it over to the right as you bring your gaze to the left, coming slowly into your twist. Ardha Matsuyasana, half spinal twist. And you start to feel the spine open up. You don't know it, but you're really helping the digestive system. You're wringing out inner organs. You're really helping motility to happen in the digestive system. All right, now tighten through your core, lift the leg back up and ease it back down. Now it's the opposite leg. My right leg lifts, my left arm tries to meet it. If it can't, it's okay. I can bend through the knee if I want to. Breathe. Now bend through the knee, guide it over to the left. As your gaze flows to the right, feel that spine open up. Your knee does not have to come all the way to the floor. Remember, this is not a perfect practice. You know, you see and hear so many people say, well, I can't do that, so I just won't try it. And that's such a shame, because you get so much more out of it just learning what you can't do and learning to be okay with that. This practice will seep out into other parts of your life, I guarantee you. When you come to your mat more and you practice to appreciate and be aware of you, you'll start to do that with others. When you come to this mat and don't judge yourself, you're going to start to do that with others. So this practice on the mat will seep out further into your life, I promise you. All right, lift that leg up now and relax it down. One more hug. Draw both knees into the chest and just rock back and forth. Hopefully this won't be your last hug today. I know we're all missing hugs. I know I am. And then ease one leg down and the other. Shavasana, corpse pose. This is your time. This is your place. Relax. Let yourself be. Just let your body fall into whatever position it likes. And start to scan the physical, the mental, the emotional, and the spiritual sides of you.
Take a deep breath in and release that breath out. Start to bring movement back into the body and notice how your body has changed from just a little while ago when we began. Maybe your joints turn freer. Maybe your breath is a little more relaxed. Maybe your mind is a little more at ease. When you're ready, rotate onto one side or the other. Take a deep breath in, and as you breathe out, push with the opposite hand and bring yourself up to that seated position, Sukhasana, where we all started just a little while ago. We're on the same mat, same place, in the same position. But just as we've been talking about, we are not the same. We've changed, and we have the ability to change. So if you don't like something right now in your life, change it. And if you like your life and you're happy, that's awesome. And continue to strive for knowing yourself better, because you're going to be changing whether you know it or not. So learn to go with the flow. Learn to be okay with change. Think of change happening for you, not to you. Bring your hands to heart center. Loka samasta sukhi no vamantu means may the entire universe be filled with peace, joy, love, and light. I hope you found these things today, and more importantly, I hope you can take them out, share them with your family, share them with friends, even on a phone call or an email. Remember, we can all be the spark that makes the flame. Namaste. Thank you, guys. Have a great rest of your day and a great weekend.
Thank you, Andy.